Welcome to the award-winning Real Estate Mortgage Shop, where home buyers, homeowners, and investors get practical mortgage and real estate insight straight from the pros with your host, Joe Garner.
Good morning, Memphis, and welcome to our internet listeners and our podcast listeners across the 50 states. You're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, and I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer. Connect with me at jogarner.com. Our topic today, July the 18th, 2026, what you don't know can cost you: inspecting hidden home and mortgage risk. Thank you to attorneys Shelley Rothman and Rob Drawn of Griffin Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer Law Firm for sponsoring this episode. And when you're ready to buy a home or refinance, call Rob or Shelley over there for the title work and your closing, 901-752-1133. But hey, we've got somebody that's this their first time in the Real Estate Mortgage Shop studio. We have John Roy of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors. He's a national home inspection franchise serving Shelby County in Tennessee, Tipton, Fayette, Hardeman, McNairy, multiple counties in East Tennessee and in North Mississippi. Wow. And you know, John, I know a little bit about you. You've been in business a long time, but you take a down-to-earth approach, helping first-time home buyers clearly understand a home's condition without pressure or fear so they can move forward with confidence. Take a minute or two and introduce yourself, John, to our listeners. Tell us some of the services you guys offer.
Yes, thank you. I love it. I'm so happy to be here, Joe. We offer a thorough home inspection. We examine every component of the home, from the roof to the structure to the foundation, from head to toe. We're going to examine and test all the major systems, the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, the appliances even. We take time to explain what's important, what must be maintained, and then really to set expectations about those components in the future. We've got a few other services that we offer. We've got a termite service, sewer scoping, mold, ERMI testing. We do virtual open houses.
Really?
Yes. We offer a free utility and internet connection also with every inspection, and we give free estimates.
Are you kidding me? I didn't know you did all that.
There's a lot to unpack.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I mean, take notes, guys, because I've not ever heard of that. I'm sure. I don't know if you're the only one who gives all that.
There's actually more to it, but we'll unpack it as we go.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you for your first time, John Roy of Pillar to Post Inspectors in the house. How do we contact you, John?
901-413-3943 is my direct contact, and if you just wish to book, 901-582-2220 is my booking team's number.
Awesome. Well, are you preparing, as our listeners, to get a mortgage on a home that you're about to buy, or maybe you're about to refinance? If the mortgage company requires an appraisal for your transaction, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, the home condition can create obstacles to getting the value needed or getting an approval from the mortgage company. And let me give you an example of that. If an appraiser notates on the appraisal some needed repairs that affect the structure of the home, security, or the sanitation of the home, mortgage companies tend to require these types of repairs to be completed before you close. So depending on how much they are and how in depth, that could be an obstacle to overcome. But in the book, Choosing the Best Mortgage, the Quickest Way to the Life You Want, I share a story of Martin and Marie, not their real names, but they had moved hundreds of miles away from their hometown. Their adult children had moved off and away too, but family time was really important to them. So they went in together as a family. They searched. They found the perfect home back there in their old hometown, and they wanted to buy it as a second home or like a vacation home, so that anytime they wanted to get together with their own family or some old friends they grew up with and stuff, they could all go back to that home. And they were so happy and they were so excited. Well, bad news was like a dark cloud that descended when the appraiser noted not just a few, John, but several repairs that would have to be done. They should have had an inspection done before they went and spent all the money on the appraisal and all of that, right?
Exactly.
But the seller would not make the repairs, and the Millers, their last name, it's not their real name, of course, but Martin and Maria Miller, they didn't have the money to repair the house. So Martin and Maria whistled up some of their home repair friends from their hometown, and you can read the book to find out the ingenious stuff that they did, but they got those repairs done before closing.
And it worked.
Now, sometimes you don't have home repair people you can just whistle up to come do some work, but there are other ways, and I'm going to share it later in the show. But look for this when you get an inspection report. Repairs that affect the structure of the home include rotted wood, foundation problems, roof leaks, or missing shingles, peeling paint, especially if the house was built prior to 1978, broken siding, electrical, like if the electrical and plumbing doesn't work or it's just missing important components to it, or issues with the heating and air system, the duct systems. Repairs like this fall under structural repairs. So if you see that in the home inspection, it's a harbinger. You may need to work that into your negotiation with the seller, because probably if it's mentioned on an appraisal, it's going to have to be done. Repairs affecting security of the home include doors that do not operate correctly, broken locks, open access to the house from outside. You know, some people added an attic access outside with no lock on it, those kind of things. Sanitation would be mold, drainage, septic problems where it's backing up. Underwriters want these troubled areas to be done and completed before closing.
Action required.
Action required, John. But anyway, when repairs must be fixed before closing, the buyer and seller negotiate who is going to pay for those repairs. And if the seller pays, then he or she cannot pay the buyer with a repair allowance. Man, I saw a bunch of those back in the 90s. Most of your traditional mortgages will not allow a repair allowance and just have cash given to the buyer. They want, or carpet allowances, things like that. But should weather or other circumstances prevent the job's completion before closing, there's weather issues, there's other issues where at times an underwriter will allow that seller to put money into an escrow account and have the repairs done after closing and just pull the money from the escrow account to pay for it in some situations. But John Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Inspectors, help us take a closer look at home conditions that can result in hidden costs to home buyers.
Okay. Some things come to mind immediately. Hidden moisture is one of the biggest ones that I like to talk about, and not just the things that's come to mind, like under the roof, maybe a missing shingle or flashing is improper. I'm talking about hidden moisture. Sometimes the seller hides the moisture. We have specialized equipment. We have really high-quality infrared cameras.
Yes.
We have moisture meters, not your Home Depot moisture meters, that can detect these things. And you wouldn't believe how many times I've gone into a house that's been flipped, and there's a beautifully painted wall or ceiling, and we find out with that moisture meter, there's a big blue blob right behind that paint. And that screams to us something's going on. Mm-hmm. Moisture attacks the house from every angle, from the ground, from the roof, from the sides, and internally. You have internal components. You have some of these copper water lines that can spring a pinhole leak, and you would never know it.
Wow. But your infrared can see behind the wall.
The infrared can give us a hint of discoloration because that temperature is different,
right?
Than the ambient temperature around the structure.
Oh, that's
so
very valuable.
It'll give us, and yes, we have seen some issues that have been there probably a really long time. And the framing starts just to absorb those drops of water, and you never really see it.
Right.
And of course, mold grows, and then
termites.
It just gets worse and worse, and termites after that. Another one I like is unsafe electrical issues. On the surface, you plug it in, it works. Most people, that's where they stop. They say,
right.
It's good.
Yeah.
So we open up the electrical panel. We do a scan inside, making sure the temperature of all the loads are under normal operating temperatures. But we see things, double tapped breakers. We see lines or wires that are hot with a little tape on it, just hanging out inside. Not the best thing. Very dangerous it could be. Improper drainage. This is a good one because this actually happened to a friend of mine. He bought a house 15, 20 years ago. You know those gutter extensions? They're about 4 or 5 feet long that are attached to your gutter. Well, he thought it looked silly, so he took them away. Let's shoot to 15 years later. He asked me to come over, look at this crack that went from his crawl space past the window over the lintel, hides behind the fascia. It was 3/4 of an inch long at the top and got narrower. It screamed movement. His dining room was moving, so they had to call a restoration company, thousands of dollars, and it was a $10 to $15 piece of plastic.
Wow, but those are the kind of things that you can find before they start spending money on an appraisal and some other things. So
absolutely,
moving companies and all that. It's good to know. How do we contact you, John? And John, it's John Roy with Pillar to Post Inspectors.
Correct. My direct contact, 901-413-3943. And if you can't get a hold of me and you wish to book at any time, 901-582-2220 is my booking team, and they can answer your questions as well.
You're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer. What do you want to accomplish with your mortgage? I can help make the process easy with the right mortgage on a home purchase, refinance. Connect with me today at jogarner.com. When we come back, we're going to be hearing more from John Roy, the owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, and Realtor Pat Goldstein of Crye-Leike Realtors will be joining us. Real Estate Mortgage Shop provides general information, not an offer to lend. Joe Garner, Talk Shop Real Estate Mortgage Shop does not endorse 100% of the information covered on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Consult with your certified advisors before acting on any information given on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Joe Garner is a licensed mortgage loan officer, NMLS 757308, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Hi, this is Ed Hill with Masters Roofing, Memphis, Tennessee, and you're listening to Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Now back to your host, Joe Garner.
Okay, it's comic query time. So you probably already know the answer to these comic queries, but we're going to ask anyway. And here's the first riddle. John, I'm going to ask you, what does a house say when the inspector finds water damage?
Well, I've been trying to leak that information for years. Well, let me ask you this. What costs absolutely nothing but can save you thousands on a mortgage?
Okay, I know the answer to this. It's not really funny, but it's true. It's asking questions about your mortgage before you sign the paperwork instead of after you close. So I'm available for you to do that. Today on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, we're talking about what you don't know can cost you inspecting hidden home and mortgage risk. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer for your home purchase or refinance that you can brag about. We can find the right mortgage and help make that mortgage process easy on a traditional mortgage, special loan program, or outside of the box program. Connect with me today at jogarner.com. We've got John Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, in the house. How do we contact you, John?
Yes, 901-413-3943, direct contact. And if you wish to just a book, it's 901-582-2220.
Perfect. Well, we're going to do something we like to do almost every week, but not every week. But today, we're going to do our Talk Shop business tip. And we have somebody in the house here that is a very loyal sponsor of Talk Shop. And Talk Shop is one of our major sponsors of Real Estate Mortgage Shop radio show. Talk Shop offers free networking and education to our local business community, real estate community. And if you join the Talk Shop sponsor team, you can get a wide variety of marketing venues at a below market price. Find out more at talkshoppe.com, talkshop.com. But we have our Talk Shop sponsor in the house, and it's Realtor Pat Goldstein of Crye-Leike Realtors. She helps buyers and sellers, home buyers and sellers in Tennessee and in North Mississippi. And Pat, you're known amongst your customers and your referring partners as the gold standard in real estate because you do such a good job and your home buyers and your home sellers love you. So Pat Goldstein, what is our talk shop tip today?
Well, first of all, thank you, Joe, for those kind words.
They're true.
You said it exactly the way I wrote it.
She's kidding.
Yes, I am. Joe does that all by herself. One of the questions is why is getting a pre-approval before shopping for a home, why does it give buyers negotiating power? And one of the biggest reasons is that knowing that the buyer can qualify for a loan gives the buyer great leverage. And without the pre-approval, you might as well not even qualify to buy a tent. Who knows who you are? All you are to the seller is a name on a piece of paper with an offer for their house. And
That's
they want to know
tip.
that you can actually buy it.
Well, Pat, how do we contact you?
You can catch me at 901-606-2000.
Hang out in the studio. You can be part of the conversation. You got a lot of wisdom to share. Pat Goldstein of Crye-Leike. Want to pivot back to John Roy of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors. And John, you know, you've already shared so many good things about what you don't know can cost you inspecting hidden home and mortgage risk. Let's keep going on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's maybe talk about why you need an inspection. There's quite a few reasons. One, the biggest one is the education about their purchase. You really want to know what you're getting into, the major systems, where the utility disconnects are. One of my favorite parts about the job is education and really sorting things out. Let's learn what might be significant, and let's understand what's typical home ownership. Right. And that is most of what we find is just typical home ownership. If you're a first-time home buyer, there's no perfect house, but there's a perfect house for you. And you have to maintain it, and we're going to help you with that with seasonal maintenance checklist and things like that. But another reason to get a home inspection, it does allow the buyer opportunity for renegotiation, requesting repairs, and just budgeting for future maintenance, knowing that it's going to come in the future.
That's a big one right there.
Yeah. And on very rare occasions, it gives you the opportunity to walk away with confidence.
If you have it in the contract, right, Pat?
Absolutely. The contract needs to be written specifically so that it's subject to your approval of the home inspection.
Exactly. We don't see it very often, but it does, depending upon how that contract is written, that could be a reason. It brings to light safety issues, things that you want to know of. I really always think of kids and children when I'm looking at things. What could happen? Where could that Matchbox car go? So that's a big one for me. And it reduces the chance of possible future financial crisis.
Right.
For example, we do sewer scoping. It's an added service. It's an added charge, but it can save you so much money.
Down
if there's
the road.
roots in that system that's going to block it up, because you're going to have a backhoe in your yard,
Ching ching,
digging it up, and it's not. And the city's not going to help you. It's on the homeowner usually.
And if you're in Midtown or East Memphis, well, any place where there's a lot of trees and they're old,
right?
The roots are there.
You
got to watch out for them.
Yeah, and the cast iron piping that's been sitting there for years and rusting from the inside. When you look at it, it looks maybe fine on the outside, but the inside's like a drinking straw. It's got so much sediment and stuff in it. So that's a super important thing that we like to get into. And also a reinspection. I'd like to highlight the importance of getting a good reinspection.
Right.
I've been on quite a few where the repairs that were agreed upon, a few were done, or something was done incorrectly. Don't necessarily take that seller's word that it was done by a reputable licensed person. We've seen some horror stories in that. And I've been to a reinspection where nothing was done.
Wow.
And you want to know that going into it.
You want to know that all the repairs were done before you go and close on the house.
Exactly. Because after you've closed, there's no turning back, I don't think.
Okay.
It can be ugly.
Anything else you want to add there, John? This is all good stuff.
One more thing real quick is the market-ready inspection. That's a pre-listing inspection, a lot of people refer to it as. And it's not agreed upon with every agent, but I think it is the way maybe homes should be sold. It can really help set realistic price expectations. We give a great market-ready expectation where our software actually changes to it and has home highlights, opportunities.
You're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. I'm Joe Garner, your host. I'm a mortgage officer. Connect with me at jogarner.com. We've been talking to John Roy of Pillar to Post. John, best way to contact you?
901-413-3943.
And Pat Goldstein of Crye-Leike.
I'm at 901-606-2000.
You're listening to mortgage expert Joe Garner, author of Choosing the Best Mortgage, The Quickest Way to the Life You Want. And she has a golden nugget from her book. You can order Joe's book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Hey, Joe, you talk about treasure hunting in your book. Can you tell us what that is?
Treasure hunting from funds to close. There's still 100% loan programs out there, down payment assistance, gifts from family, cash value on life insurance, and lots of ways that you can find money you didn't know you had.
Order the book today. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Jones-Borland with Evernest Property Management in Memphis, Tennessee, and you're listening to Real Estate Mortgage Shop. Now back to your host, Joe Garner.
Okay, for those of you who love some Memphis trivia, we have Did You Know? You probably already know even the first or second hint in, but what's our question, John?
Okay. What is the name of this building in Memphis, Tennessee?
We have a hint there, Pat.
Yes, the Gothic 29-story building in Memphis, Tennessee was referred to in 1925 as one of the 7 wonders of Memphis and the tallest building in Memphis at that time.
And it was 1929. Actually, I think maybe some say 25, but it was actually 29, and it was actually the tallest in the American South, too.
Really?
Yeah, some of the trivia says that.
All right.
Hint number 2, it's in its heyday, more mail was sent and received at this building than in some small towns. You could see a lawyer, doctor, merchant. You could see a beautician, a car salesman. You could get your tooth pulled, buy a steak, shop for hearing aids or glasses. You could get a suit tailored, deposit your money in the bank, or arrange to be buried. Woo! Hint number 3, the building was expensive to maintain, and as tenants moved out, it fell into disrepair. Buyers from out of state inspected it, John. They inspected it and found asbestos. So they made big plans to renovate it. This building languished from 1986 until recently. Now, there's some plans by the current owner to put almost $200 million in renovations into it and bring it back to life. What building is it?
So many have seen it, but you know it's the Steric building.
The Steric building.
Downtown Memphis.
Wow. They need good home inspectors for that.
Yes.
Well, you're on Real Estate Mortgage Shop. I'm your host, Joe Garner, and what you don't know can cost you. Inspecting hidden home and mortgage risk. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer for your home purchase or your mortgage refinance that you can brag about. We can find the right mortgage and help make the process easy. You can call or text me 901-482-0354, 901-482-0354. And we've got John Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors, in the house.
Direct contact is 901-413-3943.
And we have the gold standard, Pat Goldstein. She's a realtor with Crye-Leike in North Mississippi and Tennessee. What's your number there, Pat?
I'm at 901-606-2000.
Okay, so let's talk about avoiding risk on your financing. I'm in the mortgage business. Got plenty of stories, good and bad, to tell you, but we only have so much time. So this story is called Know Thyself and Thine Own Budget. Okay, so not their real names, but Nikki and Nuri would have bought a house a long time ago, but the whole process just seems so daunting. Besides, their spending habits fluctuated, and they didn't even know how much they could really comfortably pay on a mortgage payment per month. What if they bought a house they couldn't afford and they lost it later? It was just too scary to ponder. Well, their friends, though, were buying homes and no longer had a rent payment that was increasing each year. And when Nikki and Nuri's friends invited them to go on a cruise ship vacation with them, Nikki and Nuri couldn't afford to go. While their friends were off enjoying life on a cruise, Nikki and Nuri got serious and started going through their bank statements, their credit card statements. How could they be blowing so much money on stuff each month? I mean, it is hard to imagine. And if you don't believe that, take a look at your own credit card statements and bank statements. I have. It is amazing. But after working on their budget and getting a little emergency fund put back, Nikki and Nuri felt more confident in how much they could afford on a monthly mortgage payment. They visited their mortgage officer, the one that one of their family members had used, and the mortgage officer helped them and their realtor get a better idea of what is the maximum home price range that they needed to keep their mortgage payment within that comfort level for them. The mortgage officer reminded Nikki and Nuri that the monthly house payment was not just the principal and interest payment on the mortgage, but they needed to also account for the homeowner's insurance monthly payment, the property taxes, and mortgage insurance if they were putting a little bit down. Now, the mortgage insurance helps the lender, not the borrower. In some neighborhoods they looked at had an additional fee. It's called a homeowners association fee. Some of them did, some of them didn't. So you got to account for that in your budget. And in their case, they also needed to rearrange some debt payments to make room for a larger house note because, of course, the house they found was higher than the mortgage payment they were comfortable paying. So it's just a matter of reorganizing and reallocating some things to make room for that. But I can help you with that. I'm in the mortgage business and love to talk to you. Here's another one. Do this, but don't do that to avoid delay and making costly mistakes. So what is it that you do and what is it that you don't so you can have a smooth mortgage process? Number one, do send your income and asset documents and other supporting information that the mortgage company is requesting. Do that within 24 hours or 48 hours, not 2 weeks later. Number two, don't change jobs during the loan process and don't change the way you're paid with your employer during the loan process. If you're an employee, you're getting W-2, they're taking out FICA and taxes and everything. Don't switch over to be a 1099 contractor. That can really kill your deal quick. Number three, don't be moving money around from one account to another. Don't act like Rockefeller. Don't make large deposits other than payroll during that period that you're being processed for your mortgage. Money that is not seasoned for 60 days, we can't use. So if it was under the mattress and you just went in and put your money in the bank, we can't use that money. Under the Bank Secrecy Act, we have to have that seasoned for 60 days. You want to use it? That's great. Put it in the bank and wait 60 days. Then we can use it. No problem. Okay, number four, don't open any new credit accounts during your mortgage process. Don't go buy a car. Don't even get inquiries from these stores that say, we'll give you 10% off if we can get you a credit card. Just say no. Okay. Don't add huge balances to your credit cards. Don't co-sign for anybody. Pay your bills on time. Because right before you close, mortgage companies do another check to make sure that you've been behaving yourself. Number five, do follow instructions from your lender, your realtor, your title company to avoid having your money stolen from hackers. When you get wire instructions, go physically to the title company to get those wiring instructions. If they're not in town, call the number for the title company that is listed on your home purchase contract. They can sound like your realtor, your lender, your title company on the phone now with AI. They can spoof phone numbers, emails. You've got to be careful with your closing funds.
This is a great guide especially for first-time home buyers. I know that the process is so scary, but just to have this information in hand and to be able to follow the steps, use a great mortgage officer like yourself or a realtor like Pat here can really guide you through.
We've been there, done that, haven't we, Pat?
We have. And, there are people who think, well, I'm going to need the refrigerator, washer, dryer, et cetera, when I get this house. So they go out and they set up an account and they put the items on layaway. it counts on your credit.
I know it shows on the credit, and don't do a 12-month same as cash. I had somebody say,
no.
well, I didn't actually have to pay anything, Joe. I just went out and got a 12-month same as cash. That will not only will it kill your debt ratio, it will kill your score. I've seen scores drop 60 points because it scores as a brand new maxed out credit card.
That actually happened to me. I thought this was in my much younger days when I was very naive. And I thought I didn't know anything for all that time. Well, I didn't know that it showed up as a loan.
It does. Yeah, you're right. But anyway, forewarned is forearmed. Here's another. Oh, there's so many. I don't have time to share. John, I know you have a lot of stuff too. You'll have to come back. We'll have to talk about this again.
Yeah, absolutely.
But get the right mortgage the first time. Pay less over time, over a period of time. I can help you do that. Here's a mistake I see people make. If they have good credit and they're putting 5% or more down, maybe 5% down. If you can, try to get a conventional mortgage and not an FHA if you've got good credit and you're putting at least 5% down or so, because on a conventional you're not going to have 1.75% of the loan amount tacked on to the top of the loan like you do on FHA.
Right.
You're going to pay interest on that for however many years. If you do that, you don't have to pay it out of pocket. You're going to pay interest on it. FHA has a monthly mortgage insurance premium that you pay, and it's not to help you, it's to help the lender. Conventional does too if you only pay 5% down, but it's usually smaller and it goes away once you've paid 22% down. You've got a 22% equity position on a conventional, that goes away. It does not go away on FHA. So
No, it's there forever.
Yeah, on a $200,000 loan, they add another close to $3,400 to the loan amount that you're paying interest on, and you're paying $88 a month. I mean, I will take the time with you to try to save you some money, and there's just so much more. But there's other tools that I can pull out if you're going to put money down later, a huge amount down later. We can compare an adjustable rate versus a fixed rate to see what's going to cost you less over time. We could also look at recast options, assumption options. It's endless. Connect with me. I'm Joe Garner. I am there to tailor this mortgage to you so that you have bragging rights. JOGarner.com. We have John Roy of Pillar to Post Home Inspections in the house. And how do we contact you?
Yes, 901-413-3943 directly.
And Pat Goldstein, Crye-Leike Realtors.
901-606-2000.
We'll see you guys back in just a moment.
I'm Troy McDonald.
And I'm Lynn McDonald.
With the Aaron McDonald Insurance Agency.
From Memphis, Tennessee. And you're listening to the Real Estate Mortgage Shop. And now back to your host, Joe Garner.
Time for insights and inspiration. This one is called Hidden Danger. This is a powerful story about how what you don't know can hurt you in the tragic case of a famous pioneering physicist and chemist. This lady discovered the elements of polonium and radium, becoming the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in 1903 and 1911. However, because radioactivity was a completely new field of science, she had absolutely no idea how dangerous it was to human tissue. She carried test tubes of radium around in her coat pocket, stored raw radioactive materials in her desk drawers, and even remarked how pretty they looked glowing in the dark. This renowned physicist and chemist made huge strides advancing the world and harnessing nuclear power, but she lacked the knowledge that these elements were destroying her health. In 1934, the accomplished scientist Marie Curie died of aplastic anemia, a blood disease caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. Avoid, for you, I say to you, our listeners, avoid hidden dangers in business and in real estate. When you're buying your first home, your third or fourth home, or embarking on a home renovation project, have a professional inspection done before you spend your time and money. Work with knowledgeable professionals who can lead you around those pitfalls in the home buying, selling process, the renovation process, and of course, the mortgage process too. So, let's talk about what you can accomplish with your mortgage. I can help you find the right mortgage and make that process easy. Connect with me, call me, text me, 901-482-0354, jogarner.com. But today on Real Estate Mortgage Shop, we're talking about what you don't know can cost you, inspecting hidden home and mortgage risk. I'm your host, Joe Garner. I'm a mortgage loan officer. I work in the Mid-South and all over the United States. For your home purchase or your mortgage refinance you can brag about, connect with me. Let's go over your scenario. Let's look for ways to make you some bragging rights. jogarner.com. In the house, John Roy, owner of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors.
901-413-3943.
And we have the gold standard, Pat Goldstein. She's with Crye-Leike. And what's your number, Pat?
901-606-2000.
What's our real estate tip today, Pat?
Okay, I'm going to talk about new homes for a second. People think, oh, it's brand new, it's not going to need an inspection. Always get an inspection, and especially on a new home, because that's been constructed. Nobody's ever used it. You don't know what the water's going to be like, the water pressure. You don't know what things in the house that have never been used are going to do. And a home inspector can help offset some of that.
That's an excellent tip, Pat Goldstein. And you do a lot of work with new construction, too. So
I do a lot of work with everything.
Everything, existing, new. I love it. All right, John, what's your real estate tip of the week?
Yes, well, to piggyback off that, we do new construction all the time, and we always have a report. There is always something to find. And I even love it when the builder's there, when we can go over the report and the builder will, oh yes, we forgot to add that. We'll get that taken care of right away. So yes, I absolutely agree. But also my biggest thing is to ask questions. Don't just take the report and let your agent go over it. You need to go over the report yourself.
In fact, if you can, be at the home inspection.
Absolutely, we love that. You can follow us around. You can ask us questions. You may slow us down a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to actually show and point out to you, because sometimes that does so much justice than a picture.
Right.
You can see a small little crack in a porcelain tub, but if I get real close on it with a camera, it might look 3 feet long when it's just a little small hairline crack that's not going to make a world of difference. So ask questions, get involved, be there. If you can't be there, I'll be more than happy to schedule a Zoom call. We can both look at the report at the same time and really sort out what's important, what's self-health, what's safety, and what, like I said earlier, is just typical home ownership.
Right.
Maintenance. A little bit of paint. A little paint goes a long way.
Well, I've got a quick tip. It's the lowest, if you come in and say, I want the lowest interest rate, the lowest interest rate is not always the best deal. And I can show you where people have missed out on thousands of dollars trying to get the lowest interest rate when something else, depending on how long they're going to have the house, would have served them much better and giving them better bragging rights. So it's like, to your point, it's not all in just looking at one thing too closely. It's looking at all the other factors of the loan. So connect with me. I'm happy to go over your scenario, and let's make sure that you're getting the best deal, not just the lowest rate.
Right.
Connect with me, jogarner.com. But I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Hey, Talk Shop is one of our major sponsors, and they offer free education and networking every week on Wednesdays, 9 o'clock Central. You can join in person or on Zoom. Go to talkshoppe.com to find out more. Go to the events tab to find out locations of Talk Shop events and how to get in online. Thank you to our location sponsor, Ben Hunter. He's an outstanding financial professional with an independent planning group, for being the location sponsor currently. In Talk Shop on Wednesday, July the 22nd, 2026, 9 a.m. Central, Jennifer and John Lawhon of Lawhon Landscape Design are going to be presenting Boosting Your Curb Appeal, First Impressions Last. Don't miss that. Talk Shop says thank you to generous sponsors who make the free education and networking possible to our local business community. Thank you to our upcoming location sponsor, One City Church Memphis. Come out to their Revive Memphis event and enjoy great music, free food, activities for the kids. Experience faith, hope, and love Thursday, Friday, July 23rd, 24th, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Saturday, 11:30 to 4 p.m. It's going to be at the Hamp football field at 456 Tillman in Memphis, Tennessee. Talk Shop says thank you to Zach Roberts, ZR Creations. It's a digital marketing company. Connect with Zach at zach@zrcreations.com. Make your plan. Let's work your plan. If the deal works for you today, let's do it today. Subscribe. You'll get our weekly Real Estate Mortgage Shop podcast with show notes. You can do that at jogarner.com. I'm going to leave you with a couple of quotes here. One from Will Rogers. Good judgment comes from experience, and a lot of that comes from bad judgment. And Theodore Roosevelt, the only man who never makes mistakes is the man who never does anything. But we thank you for listening to Real Estate Mortgage Shop, and we appreciate you. Connect with us at jogarner.com. I'm Joe Garner, a mortgage officer, jogarner.com. We have John of Pillar to Post Home Inspectors.
Yep, 901-413-3943.
And we have Pat Goldstein of Crye-Leike. She's a realtor in Mississippi and North Mississippi and Tennessee.
901-606-2000.
All right, you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you at Revive Memphis on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. One of those days I'll be there, but everybody else will be there. And we'll see you guys back on Real Estate Mortgage Shop next Saturday